Hi, I'm Mike Gilliam, and this is A Slice of New York. As we head into summer, we want to tackle a topic that is both fun and deadly serious: swimming and water safety. Every year, the tragedies unfold all around us, with an average of about 4,500 children and adults drowning across the country. According to the CDC, the problem is even more prevalent in Black and brown communities, with Black children between the ages of 10 and 14 more than 7 times as likely as white kids to die of drowning. A lot of the horror is preventable if only people had learned the life-saving skill of swimming. But there are groups working to fix the problem, including an organization called Black People Will Swim.
To me, learning how to swim is conquering a fear. It's definitely a lot of mind over matter.
Kayla James' view of swimming is like that of so many who have taken the plunge and learned the skill as an adult.
I decided to learn how to swim because I felt like it was something that I should be able to do. As a kid, I tried, but now as an adult, I was like, I really need to make sure that I learn how to do it for my safety and for the safety of other children that I'm around.
Since 2019, Black People Will Swim has focused on their mission: teaching people of color to swim and be confident around the water. Those taking lessons do it for a variety of reasons.
For me, it was more like about a fear of water, getting comfortable in the water, learning to confront that fear, and just being comfortable in discomfort.
It's good to embrace the discomfort, right? Like you're saying, like, we typically don't know how to do this, which is really annoying, and having that commonality is honestly sometimes funny, but it's also saddening at times. So doing something like this is really awesome, and it's something that I know is going to encourage folks that look like me and encourage my friends and family to be doing stuff like this.
And the program works.
It was a great experience. It taught me a lot of life skills, swimming skills, safety skills, and just overall technique. So over the 6 weeks, I feel like I got comfortable. I know the techniques to take me to the next level. So at this point, it's just practice.
At the end of the program, the instructors point out the 10 things swimmers learned in the Black People Will Swim course.
Number 1, you've conquered your fears by putting your face in and learning how to breathe. You learn how to streamline. You learn how to swim the backstroke. You also learn how to swim the freestyle. You learn the power of play. You learn how to jump in off the deep end and take the plunge, which is no easy feat. You learned how to use a life jacket. You learned how to tread water. You learned the phrase, throw, don't go, and what to do if you're witnessing a drowning. And most importantly, you learned the importance of this life skill and decided to conquer your fears this year. And we are so proud of you.
With graduation, there's a special sense of real accomplishment.
Clap it up for yourselves. Clap it up, clap it up.
It helped me with the instructors being so personable and helpful and encouraging, even the class members just encouraging each other and motivating to get all the lessons in, so it's a great experience.
It is a huge success, as we see in this clip from World Swim Day.
Happy World Swim Day!
Good program. Joining me now, the founder of Black People Will Swim, Paulana Lamonier. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's good to have you in here. Now, you started this organization about 7 years ago. Tell me why.
I really started it because there was a need. I started teaching 30 people. I set out a goal to teach 30 people. And from me putting that call out there, more individuals like, I really should learn how to swim, and realizing like there's not enough Black people learning how to swim. And then in my research, I had a young lady, well, actually in my classes, I had a young lady say, you know, Black people can't swim because they can't float. And I'm like, okay, come on now. Now I'm Black and I can float. So where are we getting this from? But then I realized that this was a very dangerous stereotype that is in our community. Some people have heard of it, some people haven't, but it is prevalent enough to where people are believing it. And I think this is where our mission comes into play, to making sure that we're making swimming affordable, accessible, but also fun.
Okay. Now, since you brought that up, I want to go ahead and get right to why that stereotype exists. And that is largely due to segregation, right? We weren't allowed in the pools.
Exactly. We were not allowed in the pools, right? When we talk about the separate but equal, the Jim Crow era, it ended in 1968. My parents were born in 1960. That only puts things into perspective that this was only about 62 years ago. And it still has the ripple effects that are impacting us today, right? So I can't say where it came from, but I do understand that segregation in history played a huge role in it, to where once integration came into play and white flight came into play, especially in New York City, a lot of times, people migrated to Long Island and they started having their own backyard pools. In some instances, once integration came into play, they would actually close down the pools as a result. And the history is there. Like, it's happened, it's in the history books, the information's out there.
And I guess if the parents don't swim, there's a chance the kids won't swim too.
Exactly. It's a higher chance, if anything, because as parents may not see a necessity for it, they're like, you know what, I don't need my kids to swim either. But we're trying to change that and remind parents in our community that it is important that your child, even if you may not swim, it's important that your child learns this life-saving skill.
Is that where the title came from?
Black People Will Swim?
Yeah.
Yes. Honestly, I was young and I was just like, it's just a temporary name. I'm just gonna call it Black People Will Swim, and then hopefully later on down the line, I'll come up with a better name. But it really speaks to the mission of what we're about.
Tell me how the program works.
So we offer six 50-minute classes for ages 10 and up, and then for our ages 6 and under, we offer 6 30-minute classes. And we offer a variety of classes. Unlike other swim programs, we have a class called a Go Best Friend class, where an individual and their significant other or best friend or a cousin even, maybe a sibling, can come and learn how to swim. Or we have a men's only adult beginner class where men can come together, find community, and learn how to swim from another male instructor. But
so they don't have to come in to swim with a 10-year-old.
Right, exactly. Or they have to come with swimming with women, right? Like, they can feel comfortable and safe. But really our core is community and making sure that they have someone who looks like them, but also making sure that they're equipped with this life-saving skill.
Mm-hmm. So what about for seniors and older people? Is it too late?
No, not at all. We've had a grandmother and granddaughter duo in our Go Best Friend class. It's really about reminding individuals that as long as you have lungs in your body, as long as you have a body, you are still able to learn how to swim.
Let's talk a little bit about a person who is coming in to learn how to swim. A lot of people are apprehensive or actually afraid to be around the water. How do you get them to be more comfortable? How do you start them out? You're not going to throw them in the deep end.
Oh no, and we have a habit in our community to do that, right? Like, we'll just throw them in the deep end, but it actually does the reverse in what you're trying to do. You're not teaching, in fact, you are kind of creating some type of trauma. But in our program, we start with having a conversation and educating them. And in our adult beginner class, if it may be a bit too, let's say, intimidating, we have a water acclimation class for 4 people can learn how to swim, and in a 30-minute in a small and intimate environment. So that way they're not intimidated and it's safer for them.
Mm-hmm. Now, you actually are a former competitive swimmer, right? So you know of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that.
I was slow. So let me just say that. I think I was slow, but I enjoyed the sport for what it is, right? It's all about beating yourself. And I mean, yes, you there to win, but at times too, you always want to have a personal record. And for me, I was a distance swimmer. So I was swimming thousands and 1350. So that's like 20 plus laps.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I enjoyed the sport and I appreciated the camaraderie.
Mm-hmm. You talked about swimming like long laps and that sort of thing. What if it takes a person in one of your classes a little bit longer to get comfortable in the pool? How do you handle that?
We just have them come and continue our programming. The thing about it is that it is a journey. You're not going to learn some people are not going to learn everything in 6 classes, right? And so it's important to remind them that we are laying down the foundation in the first 6 classes, and then we're going to build upon it. So we encourage them to continue. We offer classes at a discounted rate, and we offer them early registration as an incentive for them to keep keep coming back for more.
Is there help available for families that say maybe have 3 or 4 kids that they want to be able to teach to swim?
Yes, because I've been there. I'm one of 3, so I completely understand. And so with our program, lucky enough, we've been able to partner with organizations like USA Swimming and Outdoor Afro and Speedo, where we are providing classes for free at times. So think about our classes are about, unfortunately $200 because of pool rental fees, which are expensive, but with our partnerships, we've been able to offer classes as low as $100, and then this year, hopefully we'll be able to offer them for free.
What if a person needs a little refresher? I learned to swim, say, 15 years ago, and I don't remember my skills. Do you have refresher courses?
We absolutely do. We have a little bit of everything for everyone, and that's the importance of our program.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. What's your message to beginners who might want to learn to swim, but they're on the fence?
I say you only have one life to live. Equip yourself with this life-saving skill. Swimming is simply the only sport that can save your life. I tell people that all the time. It is the only sport that can save your life. And so why not give yourself access to freedom without living in some type of fear with learning this life skill?
Okay. How can people connect with your organization?
Well, you can connect with us over at blackpeopleswim.com, on our Instagram, our social medias, and then you can connect with me at It's Paulana. That's ITS Paulana, Paulana.
Paulana, thank you for the important work you and your coaches are doing. Very good stuff. That's Paulana Lamonier of Black People Will Swim. Now, disparities in drownings are not limited to the Black community. There's a similar problem in the Latino community. In just a minute, we'll talk to a group that's diving into that problem head on. The number of people who know how to swim in the Latino community is also disturbing. According to the CDC, only 28% of Hispanic adults report ever having swimming lessons, as opposed to 52% of white adults. That's less than a third of the population, and that places them at an elevated drowning risk. When adults don't swim, often their children don't either. But a group called Splash Fit Swim Club has been working to change that. Joining us, we have 2 of the men in charge, the CEO, Miguel Escalante, and the Chief Operating Officer, MarcAnthony Gonzalez. Welcome to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, your organization has been around for a while. Tell me how it got started and a little bit about your focus, Miguel.
Yeah, I once started as a lifeguard over a summer. Once I started lifeguarding at a nonprofit pool, I saw that some of the guards there, they were already instructors. They were able to teach me how to teach. I took all my certifications, got all my classes started. I started teaching kids. In less than a year, I had already taught over 50 kids. They were then joining the local swim team in the same facility. And then from there, I started coaching. Once I started coaching, I didn't have much time to teach anymore, so I decided to start a swim program. I was able to get a lot of instructors who were that I was already teaching, and it took off from there.
Okay, and the focus of that the swim lessons, was it basically for the Latino community? Were you trying to serve that community?
Right, so we're serving Black and brown people, and also I'm a Latino as well, and it's very relatable for our people because, it's not just that throw them in the water and they can just swim. It's more of making that connection of how to be safe around water.
So, MarcAnthony, how do you guys do your outreach? How do you get people into the program?
So, when we first started, it was a lot of word of mouth. Families would talk to each other, pass it on to their cousins, their aunts. Now we're into a lot of marketing, a lot of social media. So we're doing a lot of videos, reaching out through there. Telling our story, there's a lot of people who we can connect through social media, so we're also exploring that as of late.
Now, a lot of the problems that we have in Black and brown communities are similar, and one of them is this lack of pools and the fact that we were kind of excluded from the pools for many years. Is that something that you guys are kind of working with and trying to overcome?
Absolutely. We try to build relationships with the pools and programs that are already occupying the pool. One of our major goals is making sure that swim lessons are accessible to everyone. particularly in the communities that we come from, and that's regardless of the program, right? If you're not swimming with Splash Fit Swim Club, you can swim with any other program. The goal is to get kids swimming.
How many kids have you taught? Do you have a feel for that?
Over my 18-year career, thousands. As of this moment, we currently have at about 500 students. We have 40 instructors. A lot of our instructors come from our program, and they're also, from the Latino community. And again, everything is about being relatable.
How do you start the kids out or adults in the pool? I mean, you don't throw them in the deep end, right? But how do you get them started and get them acclimated to the water and swimming?
So yeah, first is acclimation, getting them comfortable in the water, whether they start really at an early age, which is what we want to see more parents bring their kids to the pool, get them, have that first lesson, that water exploration. So by the time they're, toddlers, they're not fearful of the water, they're able to do more. So we have a curriculum set that's, we've been doing it for a very long time. So it works, it's been working. And we've seen a lot of our kids who, now didn't learn how to swim, now are coming to us to become lifeguards, to teach how to swim. So it's a nice life cycle that keeps going around. So, it's something to be proud of.
Tell me a little bit more about that, because you were saying that you started very young and you've been in the program for a number of years. So what you're really doing is you're teaching more than just swimming, right? Do I have that right?
That's 100%. This is generational. We want to be able to spread this to everyone. We're not just talking about your kids, nieces, nephews. We're talking about your neighbors. We're talking about people you go to school with. It's important to pass this along and also have the conversation. Hey, do you know how to swim? You'd be surprised how many people you sit next to the train and they don't know how to swim.
What about the person who has been swimming for years, maybe learned to swim 25 years ago, but might be getting to the point where they're saying, I need a little refresher? You offer that?
Of course we do, yes. We are definitely, we want people to stay healthy. Even if they are, competitive swimmers, have swam for some time, they always find the joy of coming back and using the pool. So all our members have access to lap swimming so they can come and practice as well. So, refreshers are great. We want people to stay swimming. We want them to have access to these pools. It's really important.
Is there room in the pool for older swimmers?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have senior citizens who go wakeboarding, so it's important for everyone to get some time in the water.
Swimming can be expensive to learn. Is it cost prohibitive at your place, or do you help people? I mean, if I've got, like, say, 3 kids that want to learn to swim, that could cost some money. What do you have? Are you able to help them?
Absolutely. So aside from sibling discounts, we also offer partial scholarships and full scholarships. We have partnerships with nonprofits where they fund swim lessons for students. And, I definitely want to talk about the requirements of these scholarships. They're very important. We don't want to say that they're open to everyone. If you can make the commitment and it's something that you look forward to swimming once or twice a week, we work with people. We work with people. And those are the kind of scholarships that we want to offer to people who are going to take advantage of it. So we definitely do.
Okay. And how should people connect with you if they want to get involved with Splash Fit?
You can see us on Instagram, Facebook. The best place to hit us up is our email address, info@splashfit.org. And we'd love to hear your story.
Okay, excellent. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay. The group is called Splash Fit Swim Club, and they're another place to go to learn to swim in the city. Thanks to Miguel Escalante and MarcAnthony Gonzalez for their work and coming in and sharing with us. Up next, more information on where you can learn to swim and get ready for a safe summer in and around the water. And we'll talk about some of the health benefits too. I'm Mike Gilliam, and this is A Slice of New York. Now, swimming is about more than splashing and cooling down in the water. It's also about being safe around the water at the pool, the beach, the lake, or wherever. It's also credited with being a great form of exercise that provides huge health benefits for young and old alike. Here with more on the sport, we have the chairperson of the Health, Physical Education, and Dance Department at Queensborough Community College, Dr. Andrea Salis, and the Executive Director of Inclusive Community Wellness in Brooklyn, Michael Randazzo. Welcome to both of you. Michael, what is inclusive community wellness?
So we're a small nonprofit. We started as a water polo club to get kids, including my kids, to play, and we ran into a barrier. We didn't have enough kids who could swim. So we were a nonprofit, and a friend of mine from LIU said, hey, you got a nonprofit, why don't you expand your mission and make it inclusive, which is why we call ourselves Inclusive Community Wellness, and teach kids to swim. And the kids who most needed to swim were kids of color, black and brown kids. And as happens, when a mom or a dad, especially a mom, brings their child to the pool, I'll ask them, well, can you swim? Because you're a kid. And so it'd be like, no. So we went from, we're going to teach kids to play water polo by swimming to we're teaching everybody who wants to learn to swim and be safe in the water.
Wow. Now, how long ago was that you started, and how many people do you think you've taught?
So, well, that's a good question. We started in 2016. I could say it's thousands. It's a lot. What's happened is that as a nonprofit, as a growing concern, we just teach people. So on any given day, we're in Brooklyn College, and we could have as many as 200, 250 people in the pool over the course of the full day. So we take on everybody who wants to learn, and our challenge is to manage that and work on outcomes, i.e. be safe in the water, be comfortable in the water, swim whatever level you want to, and have a certain joy to be part of swimming. Because at the end of the day, if it's not fun, you're not going to want to do it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Andrea, CUNY has a lot of pools that people may not realize exist out there. And I guess they have a lot of programs as well.
Oh, absolutely. For children, adults, seniors, everyone who wants to learn how to swim can join a program at a CUNY, and specifically I'm from Queensborough, so we have a pool that offers all of these programs.
Mm-hmm. And how would they go about trying to sign up for lessons at Queensborough? Is there a number they call, or is that the way that's done, or online? Or?
Yeah, so the first thing would be to go to our website and to you can view all the programs that we offer.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about another aspect of this, because of course there's the safety aspect of swimming, there's the fun aspect, but there are also some health benefits.
Swimming is a total body workout. And so the benefits are to your improved cardiorespiratory system, improved strength, improved flexibility, and mobility, which is all key important functions that we need to maintain throughout our lifetime. And so you can get that from swimming.
Mm-hmm. Does it matter how old you are?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Swimming is more of a technical skill, so there will be some learning time to get more acclimated to it, but anyone can do it.
One of the things that had been impressive to me is that we have a core of women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s who have come regularly, have learned how to swim laps, and now we've made a little master swim group at 8 a.m. where they come and they swim laps, and we have a coach there to kind of give them pointers, because in the end they know that it's great for their health, but physical health, but also the mental aspect, the sort of feeling you get being in water, the weightlessness. There's so many benefits to it.
Andrea, what about with the CUNY pools and what's going on there? Is that open only to CUNY students or young people, or are older people welcome?
Oh, absolutely. We have Community Swim, which is open to everyone. They can contact us and see the schedule, and so anyone from the community is welcome.
And Michael, what about very young people? How old do you have to be to begin to learn to swim?
It actually comes down to the parent. So we've had 6-month-olds in there. We have a baby and me class. I think that you would want to be 3 or older to get some sort of instruction from being in the water with a parent, but I leave it to the parents. In fact, I would say our program is pretty much, if you tell me that this is something that you want to do and value, then I'm going to try and make it happen.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the lifeguarding situation in the city and what you guys are doing with that. You help people become lifeguards?
Yes. So at a certain point in time, we've realized, probably post-pandemic, because there was a severe shortage of lifeguards throughout the city, throughout the country, that we needed more lifeguards. And so the Parks Department does what they can to recruit and get people to guard our beaches and our public pools, but it's really, I think, a community-based initiative, many community-based organizations, to find teenagers in particular, teach them the swim skills, and then encourage them to become lifeguards because A, it's a great paying job in the summer, and B, more lifeguards mean more guards on the pools, more opportunities for learn to swim. So it's kind of a virtuous cycle. So we do have a couple of programs. We work with the Harbor School and are teaching, right now we're teaching about 20 of their students to become Red Cross certified lifeguards. We're teaching a school in Canarsie. It's part of the Canarsie Educational Complex. So any place we can go to get teenagers to be invested in learning to swim, but also economic outcomes to be lifeguards.
Why do you think there's such a shortage?
It's a really complicated situation. Prior to the pandemic, there were ways that Europeans could come and work in the city as lifeguards during the summer beaches for the Parks Department. That's one thing too. The pandemic did so much disruption of many things, but certainly people couldn't get in pools. So you had a whole generation of high school swimmers who were not able to become certified as lifeguards. So in a way, we have to invest more resources to make those opportunities available from the standpoint of Red Cross certification, but also our Parks Department. They need to find more lifeguards. They do the best they can, but in a society like ours, it's incumbent upon organizations like mine and others to say, hey, you're a good swimmer, you want to get a great job being paid $22 an hour and work on a city beach or a city pool, you should do it. So it takes a little bit of prodding, though. It's not, you probably know teenagers are like, wait, can I do that, or should I go work at Burger King?
I want to sit at the beach. Come on.
Exactly.
Okay, we're just about out of time here, but I want to know, Andrea, if people want to contact you folks, how do they go about doing it?
Sure. So you can reach out to qcc.cuny.edu for all information about our swimming programs.
Okay. And how about you, Michael?
So we have a email address, community.wellness.nyc@gmail.com, but I'll give my cell phone number, 917-605-5624. People find me and they say, I want to swim, and my job is to respond however they want to ask me.
Okay, that'll have to be the last word. I want to thank all of our guests for everything they're doing to help New Yorkers learn to swim, enjoy the water, and be safe at the same time, including Andrea Salis of Queensborough Community College and Michael Randazzo of Inclusive Community Wellness. And if you're looking for swimming lessons for you or members of your family or friends, we suggest you go online and search for swim lessons in your area or town. Remember, it's never too late to learn to swim. I'm Mike Gilliam. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time on A Slice of New York.